Hello, welcome back again. Another episode of the Club World Cup journey. We're here with Group B. Now, as expected, Seattle Sounders lost again. Three losses. Yeah, I think this tournament has showed that the quality of MLS needs to improve. I think they've been somewhat competitive, but I think for the most part they've never been um, in any shape or form looked like they were gonna win any of these games. I think it turned out to be a very comfortable win for PSG. Couple goals, 2-0. KK with the first in the first half, Hakimi with the second. Obviously, in competitive in the sense of they kept PSG out for long spells, but for the most part, I think PSG knew that they were always going to win this one, and they needed to bounce back after the loss to Botafogo, and I think this group has led to another shock, another European shock, with Atletico Madrid not making it to the next round. I think even though Atletico Madrid did end up beating Botafogo with an 87-minute strike from Griezmann, I think it was too little too late for them. I think with the win Botafogo had against PSG and the goal difference that they had, I think Atletico Madrid's game against PSG was the reason why they didn't make it to the next round. I think having that such a big of a loss, you need to in return have wins of same stature, and they didn't against Seattle or Botafogo. And yeah, it's another Brazilian team through to the next round. It's looking like it's going to be Botafogo versus Palmeiras in the next round. So I think one of these Brazilian teams will make it to the quarters. I don't know which one. It'll be very close between those two teams. I think it'll be a very South American style clash going into the next round. A lot of aggression, a lot of passion, a lot of desire, a lot of fire. And Botafogo showed that they're able defensively to keep most teams out. I think their goalkeeper has made great saves throughout the games, even against PSG and Atletico Madrid. Um, for the most part, when they've needed to score goals, they've done it. And yeah, they scraped through in the end. I think all top three teams on 6 points. So this group turned out to be more competitive than first suspected going into it. I think Botafogo for me and a lot of these South American teams surprised me in the fact of how good they were, because I always felt like they would be the ones that you'd be worried about. But in the first two groups in particular, you see both two European teams, especially Atletico Madrid, one of the biggest ones, the third biggest in Spain, to be knocked out of this tournament at this stage shows that it's no guarantee that you're going to make it to the next round. It's no guarantee that you have a God-given right as a European team to make it through. And I think it also means that we're going to see a Brazilian team in the quarterfinal. So it's gonna be very interesting to see which team out of Palmeiras and Botafogo make it to the next round. Obviously, I'm pulling towards Palmeiras because of my boy Esteval Willian coming to Chelsea soon. In terms of PSG versus Inter Miami, I think PSG should have that. I think PSG overall, I feel like for the most part, they were the best team in the group. I think in the Botafogo game, I think they took them too lightly. I think as much as PSG had chances in that game, I think it just showed the defensive resilience Botafogo has when they've had the lead in a game, and even against Atletico Madrid, the defensive resilience. I think Atletico Madrid knew that they needed to come and win this game, and they came out all guns blazing. But it just wasn't enough. I felt it just wasn't enough. A lot of shot, not many on target, a lot of possession, but. I think Botafogo defensively showed in both the Atletico Madrid and PSG game is that they defensively they can be very locked down, very resolute in their game. And on the other hand, PSG just had a comfortable win against Seattle, um, top in the group, going to face Messi and them boys in Inter Miami. Now, I think PSG are one of the favourites. I think they still, even with the loss to Botafogo, I still think they are one of the favourites. Obviously, it was a shock defeat that they had in their second game, in their second group game. But overall, I think they'll make it far into the tournament. I think they're the favorites to win it. For me, I think they're gonna make it to the final on that, on their side of the corner of the round of 16. I mean, and yeah, I just think they just have too much attacking talent. Even when teams are defensively strong, they can unlock teams. I feel like against Botafogo, they just came up against one of the better defensive teams that you're gonna see in this group. We'll see in this tournament. And yeah, um, outside of that, yeah, man, I just think for me for this tournament, it's shown is what so far shown me that the MLS needs to improve itself. I even with Inter Miami going through, I think they were very lucky. I personally believe that our athletes should have gone through. I think they should have won the first game in the group stage in terms of that group, and in terms of this, Seattle Sounders just were nowhere near the level of any of the other teams, and it showed. It showed it, but also it showed that the South American teams aren't that far away from these European ones as well. So I feel like it's a mixture of if you're not putting 100% effort in, there is a chance that you will lose a game, that you will drop points. And if that's the case, then you can get knocked out of the tournament. Porto's been knocked out, Atletico Madrid's been knocked out, Seattle's out, obviously our athletes out as well. Yeah, so congratulations to PSG, Botafogo, into Miami, and Palmeiras to make it into the round of 16. Be interesting to see how those matchups play out. And yeah, I think for me, it's going to be interesting to see as we go through the last match week which teams go through, who's going to face who in the round of 16, and and what side of the round of 16 they're going to make it. So we'll see how everything pans out, the kind of pathway that each team has in order for them to make it to the final of this tournament. And I think these final game weeks have added a bit of extra spice. I think up until this point, the tournament's been a bit here or there, some hits, some misses in terms of games. But I think in this Group A and B, the final game week, it's allowed for these teams to kind of come out their shell because they know that they need to win these games, that they need to get these final points, and it's shown. In Group A, we had two score draws, 2-2, 4-4, and in this group, in the Atletico Madrid Botafogo game, even though it was a 1-0, you saw one team doing everything in their power to try and win by multiple goals, and another defending for their lives. And it took, as I said, it took only till the 87th minute to even crack them open to show. So it shows how resilient they can be. And yeah, be interesting to see the two South American teams face each other. I'm expecting to see yellow cards, red cards. I'm expecting to see wild fouls, and there's not really much else I can say in terms of that. For the most part, I'm just excited going forward to see what the other groups do. But congrats to PSG and Botafogo. As I said again, this has been the Club World Cup journey. I'm out. Peace.